Hey everybody, we'll be with you in just a moment here. I appreciate y'all joining. Make sure that you smash the like button as well as hit the subscribe and notification bell. We'll get started here in just a moment. We're going to wait for a few folks to join in. And we'll get to all things related to Hurricane Helene and what it's going to wreak havoc here shortly. All right, folks, we are going to get diving in here. I gotta shut off one of my lights. It's getting a little too much feedback on the green screen here. Yeah, that's not gonna work very much. Oh well, it is what it is. Be one moment here, folks. We can deal with me kind of getting all pixely here, I guess. All right, so we are going to dive in deep with this Hurricane Helene. We'll get to the Sioux Falls, South Dakota forecast here shortly, but this is the major news right now. Hurricane Helene is expected to make landfall somewhere in the panhandle of Florida or Big Bend area, Tallahassee. Watch out. That's going to take a direct impact. And even as you can see with some of the red there, the hurricane impacts all the way over to Tampa, Florida area, based on the latest information as of 7 a.m. So about an hour ago this was updated. This is pretty significant, and I know the subject says that, category 4 question mark. That is a real thing. It is really possible that this could be a low-end category 4. There is talk about even a 5, but I really don't believe that that's going to be happening, but this is definitely expected to have rapid intensification. So we're going to take a look at a few other graphics here, but as you can see, certainly quite a big impact as we get into Thursday. You can barely see that, but 1 p.m. Thursday, this would be based on Eastern Standard Time, or Eastern Daylight Time rather, is when you can start seeing the effects of that. And we'll get some estimated radar loops here shortly to show you. But that's one graphic. The other track, this is exactly what we're expecting to have happen. Forecast sustained winds in the M area, which would be right, if I can get my pointer here, right around this area here is where we would expect Thursday around 1 p.m. to start having 110 mile an hour winds, and that's going to push off into this area as well, and we'll show some more graphics of that. But the current location of Hurricane Helene, where it's not a hurricane necessarily yet, that is right here. That's the current location. We have some graphics from the recon mission that they had happen just a little bit ago to go inside our the wonderful hurricane hunters that they are that have gone into the hurricane or tropical storm and gotten some information to support what the millibars is at this point. Now, the other thing that we have to be concerned of is the tropical storm, moisture, risk of flash flooding. There's a marginal risk in the green, so it goes all the way up into St. Louis area. Even Indianapolis, Cincinnati could be feeling the effects of this. Days out, of course, up that far, but the major impact is going to be at least 40% chance of moderate excessive rainfall in the areas of Chattanooga, Tennessee, of course, Atlanta, Montgomery, Tallahassee, all of them. And Chattanooga area, the southern part of Tennessee and extreme northern part of Georgia are expected to have the most significant impact for excessive rainfall outlook. Now, this was updated at 8 a.m., so about an hour ago. That's 8 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Of course, that's what they're expecting. So day one, here's one graphic. So that would be today. They're expecting a moderate risk there. Day two, let's go there. This would be day two. As you can see, the right here in that southern portion of Tennessee, and then most of Georgia, as well as the Panhandle and Big Bend area of Florida for tomorrow is going to have the greatest impact. And then the day three, we're still going to have remnants of that, as you can see, over into areas of North Carolina. Moderate risk for excessive rainfall, slight risk further west. So major impacts for that. Let's go ahead and take a look at, in terms of inches, how many inches of rainfall is possible. Well, according to the latest information from National Hurricane Center, we're showing we could have 8 to 12 inches or more in some of these areas. The Chattanooga, Knoxville area could be seeing close to 16 inches of rainfall. So lots of moisture that's going to be coming up from the south there. We've got Tropical Storm Helene, Advisory 8 that was issued at 4 a.m. Central Daylight Time. The storm surge warnings are all along the eastern coast, or I apologize, western coast of Florida, all the way over into the Panhandle of Florida, from areas of Tallahassee, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Cape Coral, and even down to Naples area. Basically, the entire western portion of Florida is in a storm surge warning. That was issued at 4 a.m. Central Daylight Time. Next thing that we need to look at, peak storm surge forecast. Here it is. We could be looking at, and this was updated at 5 a.m. Advisory 8, 5 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, so a few hours ago, but we've got 1 to 3 feet all the way over to the Panhandle of Florida, and 5 to 10 feet in the red zone there. And then the biggest impact, again, is going to be that Tallahassee area all the way down to areas, north of Tampa, but Tampa Bay, 5 to 8 feet. But then we have this purple area here. That's going to be that 12 plus feet for a storm surge. So very significant. What's the timing? Here it is again, 1 p.m. Thursday. That's when it's going to be on the outer banks of Florida, but you're already going to be starting to see impacts early Thursday, but then more of the impact as it approaches the Big Bend area of Florida Thursday afternoon into later part of Thursday, and then of course it will be impacting and become a tropical storm or tropical depression sometime late afternoon Friday once it approaches landfall. It shows 1 a.m. Friday still being a hurricane according to this. So really it's sometime late Thursday is when the landfall is expected. Let's go back to some graphics and get a better look at this. So let's go ahead and put this into motion. This is the HWRF hurricane model and what we're anticipating to have happen here. As you can see, the low pressure or the MSLP or millibar pressure in there, that's 969 millibars. As we get down to 944, that's where we end up seeing that Cat 4, low-end Cat 4. Let's go ahead and go to that graphic and let's show you. Do want to point out the other risk here as I'm on the 7-day forecast. There is the risk for tornadoes on the outer edges of this tropical storm, soon to be Hurricane Helene. And as you can see, the areas along the eastern coastline of Georgia, South Carolina, all of those areas are expecting to have great impacts for tornado, the greatest risk for tornado, and even the whole entire part of Florida is in that swath of tornado risk. That is based on the SPC's latest information. So let's get to our 7-day forecast for Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and Southeast. We do have 80-degree temperatures for a high today. And then we also show those warmer temperatures continuing into your weekend. Going to have a marvelous weekend in areas of South Dakota, Sioux Falls area. And lows will be mild in the 50s, cooler I should say, but then once we get into next week, that's where we see a significant drop in our temperatures again as a cooler front comes through. But the biggest news for Sioux Falls area is going to be dry. Not really any chances of moisture showing up in the forecast. Let's thank our sponsors while we're here. Mission Nutrition, Fit Revolution Nutrition, and Refuel Nutrition. They are the greatest impact to me, and let's give you a heads up as to like the background on me. I went from 252 pounds to 165 pounds, kept it off for a number of years with the help of their great coaches. They have been able to help me maintain that weight, 165, for a number of years. Check them out today. Go to one of their locations and talk to their coaches. So at Mission Nutrition, Sarah and Jeremy. At Fit Revolution, they've got CJ as well as Caleb and his wife. Definitely check them out. And Refuel is Jody. So those are some of the great coaches. They do have others there as well, but those are the owners, and they would be able to assist you in getting a weight loss plan and nutrition that is going to set you up for success. They're all located in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. And then Prairie Pro General Contractors, request a quote today at prairieprosd.com. If you need a new roof, you need siding, whatever have you, commercial, residential, they do it all, and they've been doing it for over 25 years successfully. So check them out and request a quote at prairieprosd.com. All right, back to this hurricane. 944 millibars. And let's see if I can get to one graphic that I wanted to show. So here's the thing. When you have 944 millibars, you're teeter-tottering that extreme. So as you can see above me, 944 millibars would be the low end of a Cat 4. And then this was showing 943 millibars as it hits landfall. So that would be why we're anticipating a possibility of a low-end Cat 4 as it approaches. So let's move this a little bit further. There it is, 943 millibars. And then, of course, the 949. So then it becomes still a hurricane. And then 981, it kind of falls apart there on Friday, early morning hours. Let's go ahead and take a look at another. Let's take a look at the HMOD. That's showing 947 millibars. Just got to wait for that to update here. Kind of gets it, it's having a hard time with this one. 946 millibars as it approaches Florida area. And then 947. So high-end Cat 3, low-end Cat 4 based on this. Let's take a look at the this one here. Has a better idea of it. Let's see. So it'll help you to see that low pressure. There it is, 994 millibars. Nine thirty four millibars, 932. So as it makes landfall, it's hard to see that. So let's see if we can zoom in here just a little bit. So as you can see right here, 934 millibars. That would give an idea of possibly a major hurricane. Would be definitely Cat 4 for sure. So there's still some intensification happening. Let's go ahead and go to our live look with our Radar Omega app. Go ahead and put that up here. What do we got going on right now? This is a GFS, so I'm going to go to our HMOD on here so that we can see that. And as you can see, this is what they're expecting. 120 mile an hour winds, max gusts 150 mile an hour winds. That's on the 26th around 1 p.m. based on their estimates. That's National Hurricane Center, that is. Let me remove this, and I'll show you the recon information here shortly. As you can see, once it gets to that Cat 3, a well-defined eye right there. Look at that, folks. So do make sure that you heed the warnings. Evacuate in those areas. Tallahassee, Panama City. And I cannot, Apalachicola area, Port St. Joe, all the way along Tampa area as well. They're going to have the Outer Banks. They're going to spin up quite a few tornado on these outer edges of that. And let's go to the recon information. So recon data shows 1,000. Oh, that's where that was. Let me go to the eye here and see if I can get that recon data. So the recon data was showing 984 millibars, 984.1. Let's see this one here. The lowest part of it is 979. Just need to get into the center here. Yeah, so 970, 980. So it's not going to take too much more. Once it gets past, this channel, if you will, it's really going to rapidly intensify later today. Let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of the outlook. We want to look at the radar here for the shut this off for a moment. All right, there's lots of flooding going on. We have an area of it, Knoxville, already having some crazy weather with severe thunderstorm warnings already issued this morning. And that's showing a tornado possible in that area. Looks like that would be possibility there, right smack dab here. Put a radar loop on that. Even though this area is in a marginal risk all along here, let's take a look and see what's going on over in Louisiana. Some showers and some non-severe, but this is going into a ripe environment here. So any of these storms that are going to be following along the northern edge of Louisiana, they're all going to end up getting pretty rapidly intensified over the afternoon hours. So folks, be careful there. You got that to contend with in the south. We're going to have lots and lots of flooding, as that graphic did show. Oklahoma, lots of dense fog. And then the other risks that we have here, up in extreme northeast part of Minnesota, we have the dense fog advisories for another 26 minutes. Let's take a look at the HRRR weather model and see where that rapid intensification of the storms might be for areas of the southeast part of this U.S. As you can see, once you get into the afternoon hours, intensifies along the edge of Charlotte, North Carolina, South Carolina, and then this is obviously showing the 26th where hurricane bands start. The HRRR is a little difficult to show the hurricane values, but nonetheless, you can start seeing on the 26th really pushing in there. So we'll see that rapid intensification. What are our current temperatures in South Dakota? Let's take a look at those real quick. We got 49 degrees, 46 for a dew point, 52 out in Chamberlain, 53 in Winter. I apologize. Got Rapid City area, 56. So the cooler air, and we do have this front. This was updated at 4 a.m. This is a shortwave trough, but really isn't going to disturb anything because we don't have any other fronts around here. Dominating high pressure. High pressure here, here, and here. This is going to be why it's going to be cool, dry, and just really nothing to disturb this entire area over the next several days. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. We'll take a look at day 2. As you can see, there is an enhanced risk over in this area of South Carolina, even in Jacksonville area. Of course, that's because of all that severe weather from Hurricane Helene. But again, the main point here as well is nothing really going on there for the SPC outlook. Day 3, again, centrally focused here. Nothing real huge. We do have high wind warnings, so that's going to be going on over in Montana area today. Day 4, we're going a little farther out, but there's nothing that's going to be really there. Okay. Just wanted to show you that there really wasn't anything showing up as far as moisture. So we're going to dry things out quite a bit and going to have cooler air. Speaking of which, let me take a quick peek at one other thing. This will show a graphic. Day 3 here. One moment. So this shows day 3, Friday, September 27th. You can see heavy rain, flash flooding possible. And then what I really wanted to show you was this part here, where we do have that cooler air dropping on down from Canada, and that's going to be the reason why this weekend it'll be nice for a little bit, but once we get into the work week, that's when things will get a little dicey, where it gets much cooler air. So we'll have this pop on down, keep things relatively warm, but then another Canadian front will pass through and bring even cooler snap. So we may end up seeing some frost in areas, definitely starting next week. All right, that is the latest information that we have from 605 Chaser Studio. Stay safe, everybody. Again, heed the warnings that we have, or they have, regarding Hurricane Helene, because it definitely is going to be impactful for many areas of that coastline, and we can't rule out a Category 5.